Howdy, Kevin Maloney from the Maloney Method. Today's show is going to be on confirmation bias and how it affects your training and the science of habits. We'll start off with confirmation bias. Everybody's familiar with it. Boom, something happens. The facts are not consistent with what you want the facts to be. So what do? You contact a bunch of people that you know will agree with what you want the facts to be. If you went up to 10 people on the street and said, here's the facts, nobody would agree with you. But you can call certain people to confirm that you are correct. So the narrative that you have created in your mind, you feel comfortable with. Now, how does it affect your training? Another type of confirmation bias is self-confirmation bias. We all have several people in our head that are always having a conversation. There's always a narrative inside between this person and that person. Now, in your training, let's say you decided to set a program where you're going to be a morning trainer, you're going to get up, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Over time, there's been an attrition, okay? There's been an attrition. So what happens is, you eventually don't train anymore. But what you do is you go to people so that you could feel more comfortable with the decision not to train, and you tell them, look, I can't train anymore because my schedule is too compressed. I have too much responsibility during the day. When I get home, I'm too tired. You will go to people that will say, of course, look at the schedule you have. How could you possibly train? So you will confirm the narrative of the person who quit. You will never go to a person who has trained and has made it a lifetime thing. You will never go to that person and say, look, here's my situation. I didn't get up on time. I got too much to do. I've got the kids. I've got this. I've got that. When I get home, I'm too tired. I've got to have some time for myself. You will never go to a real trainer and say that, because a real trainer will say, look, you can get up earlier. Let me go over your day. We all know that most of the day is filled with minutia, okay? So you go over your day, the real trainer will say, here's a spot here. Here's a spot here, and here's a spot here. So the other person in your brain, okay, that says, hey, I feel comfortable with the fact that I quit, okay, doesn't like this other person that actually gives you the truth. You quit because you quit, okay? You had time, you just did not dig in. We keep emphasizing these points because sustainability is the most important thing you can have for any program that you go on. In fact, there is no reason to even start a program if you're not going to do it for your life, okay? There's no reason to even start, okay? That's why when I see a lot of these different shows that do this, do that, they can't be sustained, okay? But our Maloney Method is the training of the body and the mind. We emphasize a lot the mind, okay? Because it's the mind that will make the decision to quit, okay? The bottom line is you are the decider. So when you have these people who are in conflict in your brain, one says you have too much to do, the other person says, be serious, okay? You don't have too much to do. Try and seek out the person who's a real trainer and ask them their opinion. Do not go seek out people who say, oh yeah, absolutely, your schedule's crazy. You have too much to do. I don't even know how you did it for a month. Don't seek those people out. Seek the people out that will just give you the truth. There is no reason why you cannot have time to take care of the most important thing you have, okay? You have time to get that oil check. You have time for all that bullshit paperwork and all that bullshit phone and all that stuff on the computer. You have time for that, but you're saying you don't have time to take care of the gift that you have, a good physical body. You find time. And do not go to people who will just confirm that, hey, you're copping out. You are copping out. Go to real trainers and ask them. Now, I'd like to get into the science, of habit. Habit's an interesting thing. There's a neurological loop that people don't understand. It's literally physical. It's a neurological loop. The way you form a habit is there's three things. There's a signal, there's a routine, and then there's a reward. There has to be three things involved. Let's take, for example, you want to develop the running habit, okay? What's your signal, okay? You need to put the sneakers at the edge of your bed or on a chair right by your bed. So when you get up, you see that signal. The same way a dog sees a leash. A dog sees a leash, he knows he's going for a walk, okay? So you got your signal. Now, you take the signal, put the shoes on, and you go for a run. Small run, that's another thing. You always start small, okay? You always start small. So you go for a little run. Now the third part of a habit is the part that most people make a mistake on because it doesn't mesh with this new life that they're going into. The reward is important. And here's little Maggie's reward. Here you go. You have to have, okay, good girl. You have to have the reward part in there, okay? Three things: signal, routine, reward. Now, the thing about this that people don't know, and the reward could be a piece of carrot cake, something, okay? Here's the thing. People don't know that after a certain amount of time, the reward part will not be necessary because the neurological loop has been so locked in, okay? But it's very important that in the beginning, it's a three-part deal. Signal, routine, and reward, okay? Now, habits and addictions have similar things, okay? Addictions, let's take the addiction of cocaine, okay? What happens when a person is addicted to cocaine? What cocaine does is it hits the reward center, okay? Which we hit in a natural way, but it hits it excessively, all right? So that the dopamine is released in exponential amounts, okay? Then it hijacks the habit system. It literally hijacks and makes it a loop. It doesn't develop the loop through natural ways. It hijacks it so that you got this thing where you've had so much dopamine and you have to go through total withdrawal, but because you hijack the habit neurological loop, It's become a habit. It's become a habit. So you need more and more and more. And you don't even notice when it's artificial. When it's artificial, there's a big difference here. When it's artificial, the reward gets less. The reward gets less, and you need more to get the reward because you hijacked the habit system. When you develop a real habit to get the dopamine, the reaction stays the same, okay? Signal, routine, reward. The reward will always feel the same, and you will have that option. You will notice that you may not need the reward after a while, and the habit is still entrenched. Okay, well, that's it for today's show. Now, the two key things is we got to understand training the body and the mind. Okay, the mind is the thing that will cause you to change or quit or something. Before you make any major changes to not do your routine or change your routine, you have to ask yourself, the two people I am asking, okay, the two people I am asking in my brain, okay, which one? What would a real trainer say to this? Don't look for people to just confirm what the facts are not consistent with. As far as habit, remember, you gotta have 3 loops in the beginning. You gotta have 3 loops. And the beautiful thing in habit forming is after a while, even if you take the reward away, the habit stays. But it's imperative that in the beginning, you have a reward for yourself. Now, Friday, we're hoping to start our new little thing where we bring in the common man or common woman and we find out why training has become part of their life and what it has done for them. So to communicate, we are at MoloneyMethod@gmail.com. That's Moloney with an O, Moloney. We also do personal training, and we look forward to hearing from you and seeing you on Friday with another show with our view of things. Good to see you. Boom.